GR Sports, and Flex and I found ourselves in the Adidas headquarters in the Aspire Zone in Doha. What a place this is, Flex.
Top place, man. Big sports complex. You've got the Qatari team staying over there. You've got Ghana training over there as well. Australia, you've got an aquatic centre. You've got training pitches. You've got the Khalifa Stadium, which you can see there in the background. This is where it's all happening. Adidas are having live match viewings as well for all of the World Cup games as well. So if you're in Doha, get on the internet, see how you can get access to these things as well. But big up to Adidas for giving us access up here, man. It's a top space.
Absolutely. Some place this is when you look around, and I'm sure we'll show you outside as well, the views that you can see up here. But listen, T-1, right? England play tomorrow against Iran, and we thought now is the perfect opportunity to do our predicted 11/combined 11, whatever you want to call it. So let's waste no time and get straight into it, Flex. I mean, there's going to be a bit of a contrasting opinions here, I think, not only from our opinions, but also what Gareth chooses to do as well.
There is. I think let's start with what we think Gareth Southgate will do. And then we'll individualise our teams. Because it is a combined 11, but between me and you, which I don't think we might not agree on a lot of stuff, which we don't in normal life.
Exactly.
All right, let's go with Gareth. Obviously, it's going to be Jordan Pickford in goal. There's not going to be a Pope, there's not going to be a Ramsdale. We know that, innit? Yeah?
Yeah, I think I mean, form-wise, he hasn't been great, but we know that Southgate doesn't necessarily pick players on form. I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to saying, let's give Ramsdale a shout. I mean...
Wait, we're not doing our bit yet?
Of course.
So we're just doing Gareth?
Gareth will pick Jordan, and there's no doubt about that. But let us know in the comments if Ramsdale does deserve that chance.
Yeah.
So that's in the bank.
I think...
Pickford's there.
Wait, does he go over 5 or a 4? I think he goes a 4.
You're going for a 4?
What's he played in all them games where we've been losing, actually? Mixture.
Rubbish.
Apart from rubbish and losing.
Do you know what?
I think he's going to go for a 4.
I
think he's going to go for a 4. Iran, away I say, but Iran, first game.
Yeah.
You've got to go for 4. I know Gareth, to be fair, can be quite defensive, and that's been a bit of a criticism of this England team and how he sets us up, but let's go for 4. I think he's going to go Trippier, Stones, Maguire, Shaw.
I agree with you in saying that I think that's what he'll do.
Yeah.
I think that is the back 5 pretty much nailed on, if I'm honest. But what would you do? I mean, we've obviously got to come here and critique and say what we think should happen as well. I mean, personally, I would play, and I know you're going to laugh at this, but I'd play Trent right back and I'd play Trippier left back, because we've seen Trippier play at left back for England before. I mean, a lot of eyebrows were raised when he played in a left side of the back 5 at the Euros last year, but it worked.
It worked. Was that home game against, was it Croatia, innit?
But then again, Shaw scored in the final of the Euros.
I was just about to say, no chance for me.
Would you drop Trippier?
No chance, no. He's the most informed fullback in the league, out of the ones we've got. And even actually, out of all the ones that are playing, obviously Cancelo's there and that, and others that are doing really well. And Ben White's doing really well at fullback. But
captain
Trippier,
of Newcastle as well.
Exactly, captain of Newcastle. Ben White could say I've been playing right back, and my team's top of the league. So I'm not going to get into that because you guys are going to get tribal in the comments. This is England. We're trying to, be fair. Yep. But would I drop Trips? No, absolutely not. I think he's fantastic, especially in this England team. And I definitely wouldn't put him at left back. I'd put him right back. I think he's quality, he's assured, you know what you're going to get going forward and defensively. I think as well, if you look at the pecking order within this England squad, we know that Gareth Southgate hasn't fancied Trent when they've all been fit, when Reece James is available, and Ben White's even got in usually now ahead of Trent, and when there's Kyle Walker as well. So Trent's never anywhere near it, and I think that going as well, he hasn't even really had much of a look at Trent, like at tournament level at all. And then even in the lead up to this as well through qualifications. So definitely I can't see how Trent starts. I could be completely wrong, but I can't see how he starts. And Luke Shaw, like you said, he's scored for England in the final.
And that stuff means a lot to Southgate,
it means, and you know what? I know we say about the form thing, yeah? But I actually do get why it isn't all on form. If we based a squad all on form and forgot what happened with past players, what they actually do within a relevant period, not like 15 years ago, 10 years, like a relevant period, like last 2 major tournaments, like we'd have a midfield of like, I don't know, Gallagher, because he scored a winner against Palace. You'd have Maddison. You might say Loftus-Cheek had a good few games. You'd put him in. You'd have what's his face, Ward-Prowse. You might put in. Obviously, I know Tony and stuff like that. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been here, but there's obviously things going on. But It could just be a whole, Danny Ings would start getting in because he scored a back-to-back goals against maybe Liverpool and then Man United. It becomes obscure. There has to be an element of, what have you done for England? Yeah, so let's keep it moving about what Gareth would basically do with the full squad, and then we'll do ours to kick it on a bit. So midfield. Gareth's going to go what? He's going to go with three. Yeah, I think he's going to go Bellingham, Rice.
Them two are just nailed in, aren't
they? Should be. I mean, Henderson's there as like a supporting act now. Obviously, captain of Liverpool. Big influence on the squad, big personality, big experience, which I absolutely respect him for. But he is starting to kind of...
I mean, listen, I'm one of the biggest Henderson fans you could meet.
Yeah.
But for England's sake, I think Rice and Bellingham is probably the midfield that we're going to see maybe for the next 10 years, Flex, in this England team.
I don't see why not. Yeah. So I think he'll go with them, and I think he goes with Mason Mount in the 10. I think Gareth goes with that.
I feel like as soon as you start getting into the attacking positions, that's when it becomes a little bit obscure in terms of having nailed on names. I mean, the back five is set, but Rice and Bellingham too. But then if you play Mount there, that means that Foden might get dropped. It means that, Maddison is on the peripheries. We're waiting to hear if he's actually going to be available for the game tomorrow. But your Grealishes, these kind of players probably get pushed to the side for Mount, do you think?
Yeah, I think they will. With what Gareth, we'll quickly do what we think. But I think with what Gareth's going to do, I think he'll go with the tried and tested Mount in the 10, and then I think he'll go with a front line of Sterling, Kane, and Saka.
I think Saka starts. Arsenal fans would be very happy to
and he
hear
should.
that.
Well, I think we need him on the right-hand side.
In that side, he's been the best. I think England have got, and I think Harry Kane obviously starts every single game. And then on that other side, Foden coming in onto that right foot from the left side.
No, I think Sterling starts.
Oh, sorry, Sterling.
Yeah. I think for Gareth, I think he'll go Sterling. Just again, what he's done at England level. I know he's not in good form, etc., etc. They said this about him, about Raheem Sterling before the Euros. It was the same thing. Make sure you start Grealish because Sterling's not at it. Sterling literally carried us through the groups. Gareth Southgate won't forget things like that. That's why Maguire's there. That's why Sterling's going to be there. Players that he can rely on. That's why Pickford's still there and Ramsdale hasn't come in because he trusts that core players. Now, let's go into what your 11 would be. AGT's 11.
Right, my 11. Why not? Aaron Ramsdale, you're in goal, son. Okay. Personality-wise, I think he's definitely part of the team. He feels very included. And he's a good goalkeeper. I think there's maybe a question mark when it comes to those big moments. Can he kind of deal with it? But we've seen with Arsenal, I mean, you don't become top of the league. I think they do have the most clean sheets as well now. I mean, you have to take your hat off to him for that. So me personally, and again, let us know in the comments if you agree, disagree, but I'm going Ramsdale in goal, Trent at right back. If it was down to me, I'd maybe put someone in the centre-back
position.
Go for it.
This is your team. This is down to you. This is your team.
I would have Stones there. I think Stones is a nailed-on name.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we were talking earlier about Tomori, these kind of guys. I think Stones... it's difficult. What else have we got?
Ben White.
Do you know what? I'd go Ben White and Stones.
Connor Cody.
Wouldn't go Connor Cody. I think in a back four, even though he's played fairly well for Everton this season, I think in a back four, the pace becomes a bit of an issue. But I would go Ben White and Stones, And then left back, I would have to say Luke Shaw.
Yeah, midfield.
Midfield, I mean, again, if we're going on form, James Maddison has to be in there as that number 10 pivot. Rice and Bellingham always there for me. I mean, Liverpool fans recently have obviously been talking about Bellingham, but Rice as well is out of contract fairly soon. And in the forward positions, I think naturally you go with Kane, even though maybe performance-wise he's not been hitting the heights this season. He's still banging in the goals. He's still banging in the goals. Callum Wilson is obviously the number 2 to come in there. I play Foden on the left and Saka on the right, supporting Kane. So let us know.
So I don't mind Pickford's still playing. I think Pickford is a good shot stopper. Eccentric, yes, and you know what? I used to have this narrative of like he just makes mistakes all the time. He's flappy and stuff like that, but actually he's a good shot stopper. And for England, I think he's done really well. I like Aaron Ramsdale. I think Aaron Ramsdale's done really well as well. Distribution-wise, really good. He surprised me with how good he is with his feet. But tournament level, again, I just know what I'm getting with Pickford. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that at all. Right back, I'm going Trippier all day of the week. If Walker's fit, which we know there's question marks as to what shape he's in after coming back from his operation. I know he's here, but how fit is he? I'm going Walker all day. I think he's the best right back. especially for tournament level where you can just lock off a whole side by himself where wingers just won't get past. In a 3 or a 5 is defensive cover for the reason why Stones and Maguire I think have even done quite well for England is because of that recovery pace in that right hand channel for Walker, but he's not available, so I'm going Trips. I think he's had a fantastic season. He's in the form of his life. He's confident. He looks powerful. He's good at set pieces as well. So the little bits that you might like, what you're saying Trent will excel in. Tripper's got a great delivery, great at free kicks. He can compensate for that. Maybe not at the level as Trent, maybe a little bit below, but he's still, and he's a better defender than Trent for me. He understands the game better. I'm going with Stones, 100%. I like a shout with White and Maguire.
Maguire? I said White and Stones.
No, that's what I'm saying. So White in for Maguire though, so it would be Stones. That's what I mean. So I like that shout, but again, I'm being a bit Gareth-y, I'm not going to lie.
It's got to
Maguire,
you.
it has. Maguire's done all right for England. He'll be fine. My famous last words.
Yeah.
Man United is a different thing. But I think in this England squad, this is where he actually feels at home. This is where he puffs his chest out a little bit and has a little bit of that strut. So I'm going to go with Maguire and Stones, and obviously Luke Shaw left back. I'm going to go Bellingham, Rice, and I would put Foden in the 10. I'm not having Mount in there. I wouldn't have Grealish in there at this precise moment. I'll go with Foden, and then I'm having Sterling on the left. I know a lot of people said he's formed this, that and the other. Chelsea have been average and he's not been good. But at tournament level, Raheem Sterling is one of England's best players, if not the most clutch. Like, he produces consistent numbers, and it was the same before the Euros. Don't start him because Jack Grealish is better. Yeah. Jack Grealish this, Jack Grealish that. And Jack Grealish was a good impact sub as well. So I'm going Sterling, and I think Gareth will go with that. I'm going Sterling, Kane, Saka must start as well. That's my team.
Do you think Saka, out of maybe all of the players, especially over the last 6 months, has really proven that he should be in this team as a starter?
Like, nailed on, 100%. And you know what? I love the kid. I don't care what team you support. You cannot look at Bukayo Saka and not be drawn to him. He's got an infectious character. He seems like a really loving kid. I remember Luke Shaw saying he's like a little brother to me. Like, you just love him.
Yeah.
You take him under your wing. And away from that stuff about personality, he is a flipping good player. Like, he is so direct. If you ask any left back, do they look forward to playing against him, or how they feel about coming off the pitch after having played against him, you know that they're going to be knackered. You know they're going to have a tough game. And I just think now's his time where he's really maturing at a good rate. He's come through adversity from the Euros last time, having a good season this year. Arsenal top of the league. He's in great form. He's an instant starter. So yeah, that's the team.
Well, there you go. That's our predicted 11 from myself, AGT, and Flex on DR Sports. Don't forget, in the studio and on the ground in Qatar, we've got it all. There's literally no need to watch any other content, really, is there?
No, there isn't. Keep it locked right here as well. And again, big shout out to Adidas here, letting us use the space out here in Qatar. So we'll see you soon again. Peace.
Take care.